Oops, I forgot to mute. Stop. I forgot to mute everyone. Okay, mute all. Yes. Then share my screen.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as
Hello, Bonjour Sanbonani. Welcome to Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, more especially under these circumstances, under this COVID-19 pandemic. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. My name is Dr. Riel Nkunene, and I'm going to be your host for today. So if you're watching us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from our podcast. Today, we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have amazing speakers who's going to share some nuggets on successful parenting. So in Denver, Colorado, we have Jennifer Adamson. And in Baltimore, Maryland, we have Celia Kibbler. And in Atlanta, Georgia, we have Savita Besswick. So at this moment, I'll just let our speakers to introduce themselves. So you can go ahead, Jen.
Hi, good morning. I'm so excited to be here. I'm Jen Adamson. I'm a mindset and manifestation coach. And my main focus is on, I teach a lot and I coach a lot of clients who are actually single moms. I'm a single mom myself. And I love to teach and coach single moms on how to balance having a very successful life and being high achieving, but also not compromising your relationships. And one of those includes one of the most important ones is not only just ourselves, but our relationships with our children. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Wow, it's such a great honor to have you, Jennifer. You can go ahead, Celia, and introduce yourself, please. You're muted.
So sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. Excited to be here with all of you and share all this great knowledge and hopefully bring some real value to those listening. I am Celia Kibbler. I'm here just outside of Baltimore, Maryland, on the East Coast of the United States. And I am a mom and a grandma and on a mission to stop 1 million parents from yelling at their kids through creating a cooperative, calm home so that family harmony exists and that everyone in your family can stop recovering from a childhood and really start blossoming from their childhoods.
Oh, wow. It's such a great honor to have you, Celia, and I'm looking forward to hear you speak. You can go ahead, Savita, and introduce yourself once again.
Well, thank you so much. I thank you, Riel, for inviting me on today. And my name is Savita Besswick. I am originally from Niagara Falls, New York, and I'm currently here in Georgia. And I thank God I started off as being a single parent, and then I got married. And so what I bring to the table is to be able to teach and to help educate young children and parents on how to get over childhood trauma, from verbal abuse to psychological abuse, and also sexual abuse.
Wow, it's such a great honor to have you, Savita. You can introduce yourself, Eileen. Welcome. You're muted.
I'm muted. Okay. Yes, I'm Camille Myers, and I'm actually from Virginia, but I live in Mobile, Alabama. Hello, Savita. I know Savita.
Wow,
She's a good friend of mine.
have you. It's so good to have you. So good to have you.
Yay.
Oh, Jen, I have a question for you. If you happen to have your own billboard, I can see a billboard coming down there in the busy highway in Colorado. What will your billboard say?
To be related to the topic of today, I thought about that last night. And I think the biggest thing that I would say with successful parenting, what my billboard would say is be gentle on yourself. As a parent, we need to give ourselves a lot of grace. So I'd say be gentle with yourself.
Be gentle with yourself. Yeah, that's what we need, really. Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. You know what? We just want to raise perfect kids in an imperfect world. So just be gentle with yourself. I love that. How about you, Celia? What will your billboard say?
Mine would be a gentle reminder about how important parenting is and how important it is to be intentional with your parenting. So my billboard would say, parenting matters. Why? Because we're raising adults, not children.
Not children. I love that. I love that we're raising adults as young as they are adults. So it does matter. Wow, I love it. How about you, Savita? What will your billboard say?
My billboard would say to love unconditionally. And because I have two beautiful adult children now, and also two beautiful granddaughters. And that was one thing I did not know how to do, was to love myself. And so I couldn't love my children the way that they needed to be loved until God showed me a father's love. And so being able to love, I would say love unconditionally.
Love unconditionally. I love it. Oh my goodness. How about you, Silent? Do you have any billboard in mind that you think of having, or maybe it's already down there? I don't know. Unmute yourself.
Life is amazing. My bill will be like, life is amazing. So live it like you want to live it. Yeah, life is amazing because you don't have to be it. You know what I mean? God is the only answer for everything that you do. And He doesn't have to have you here. But if you are here, you make sure that every day is a special day.
Wow.
And that's how I live my life.
Amazing. And it is amazing. Yeah. Wow. I love all of the billboards. Actually, I think my billboard will be the fifth billboard driving down the highway, and it's going to say rise to greater heights, because you know what? The sky is no longer the limit. The sky is now our point of view. So we are all called to rise to greater heights, no matter what comes our way. And it's definitely coming. So we're going to get started. We're going to get started with Jen. Jen Adamson is a manifestation and a mindset coach specializing in teaching high-achieving women how to easily attract the level of abundance and love they desire. So Jen was awarded the 40 under 40 Rising Star by one of the Colorado's top business journals. She is a practicing registered nurse and a certified in neuro quantum wiring. So prior to becoming a manifestation coach, Jen consulted and she coached corporations like National Geographic. Okay, I don't know to push out this word. I think Doba.
Yes.
Okay.
Doba, you got it.
Okay, Doba and Whole Foods in sustainability practices. So After 8 years of climbing the corporate ladder, Jen felt the pull to pivot and align into her soul's work. She moved to India to study Eastern traditional medicine, including Ayurveda and yoga. Jen has a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing from the University of Colorado, a bachelor's degree from Colorado State University, and is a certified yoga instructor. She lives in Colorado with her 4-year-old daughter, Stella. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Jen Adamson.
Thank you. Thank you.
The stage is yours. You can take it away.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing I want to add now onto my billboard a little bit, because as I was listening to all of your amazing input and how you all I love the balance of setting those kind of more clear and tangible things with parenting, and then also how it so relates back to us. It always starts with us first, and being the role models. We're our children's initial role models. We're the caretakers. We're the ones that they lean to for support and for love. We're the ones that teach them about what the world is like, and then as they get older, they start to decide what the world is like for them. They start to grow their own independence. And so parenting, there's no to me, there's no specific handbook of this is the right, this is the wrong. We all have general ideas. There's a general compass of morality of what is right, what is going to help our children, and what we should often avoid. But ultimately, I think parenting is such a unique experience, given the context, given where you come from, given how you were raised as a person. And so I want to add on to my billboard of saying, be gentle with yourself, because I'm always learning. I'm always learning. I don't have it down perfectly. And that's something that I really love to coach the women that I work with, is that, there isn't really truly a right or wrong way to be a successful parent. There are guiding principles. There's a core and a foundation that we need to lie and to rest upon, to allow our children to firmly plant their feet into the ground so that they become well-adjusted adults. And I love what you said too, Celia, that we are raising future adults. They are the future of our generation. They are going to be the leaders and the CEOs and the teachers and the nurses and the doctors. And so what are we teaching them? How are we being a healthy role model for our kids? And what can we do? What can we do to continuously learn and to continuously grow and evolve? Because you're never going to get it down. You're going to be successful, and then you're going to have to continuously keep up that work. It never ends. That work always goes. And that's something I love. And I teach a lot of my single moms about too. So that would be what I would add more onto my billboard, is be gentle with yourself. And I'm always learning.
Amen. Amen. I love that. Thank you, Jennifer. That is awesome. I'm just going to step in because Dr. Real, I don't know where she went to, but something may have happened. But anyways, we're going to continue on. And, being able to be a successful parent is awesome. Well, there she is. And so I will let her go ahead and finish. But being a parent, God teaches us and shows us how to be that. And I'm going to share that when Dr. Real comes back and shares what she has to share and bring on the next speaker.
Wow, I love your spirit. I love your spirit, Savita. You just took it away. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jen, for sharing such a profound, much needed message. What I'm taking away is that I should be gentle with myself. I'm not too sure if you were done with your speech or you were still just going to add some few points.
Yeah, I think that I really encapsulate it. The three things that I like to teach my clients with, because they're high achieving women, they're on the top of the corporate ladder, and they're struggling at some point and place in their life. And oftentimes it's in relationships, and sometimes it's in their parenting, and that they're feeling like they're lacking that connection or that sense of bonding with their children. So, the three things, and like I said, there's no true guidebook. There's just guiding principles. So the three things that I like to teach my clients is, you know, growing up myself, I didn't grow up with a lot of nurturing. I didn't grow up with a lot of that encouragement. I had to learn to be my own cheerleader. I grew up in a very strict household with a lot of restrictions, a lot of limitations. And so it took me a little bit longer to understand and how to build myself up. And what I took from that is that now with my daughter, I am consistently trying to build her up while also setting very clear communication and limits on her behavior of, you know, how do you interact in this situation, and what's the right, we don't do you're good or bad. We do more of like, what's the good choice? Did you make a good choice, or was that a bad choice? You're the person, because the thing is I think it's important for kids to understand they're not bad. They're learning. We're learning too as parents. They're not bad. They're not bad for doing something, for making a poor choice. It's just that they're learning too. And we need to be that guidance system for them until they can as eventually become those, you know, those well-adjusted adults into the world. So setting those clear limitations and setting those clear expectations in a very loving way. And then also being a healthy role model. I found that I struggled with that so much as a new mom, because if you think about, as women today, we are often viewed as the natural caretakers and, you know, put our children first and put our families first and put everyone at first before us. And there's a time and a place, but it's also really important for us to be able to take care of ourselves. And oftentimes I find that I am at my worst as a mom when I have not given myself the time I need, when I have not given myself the time to connect with stillness, to go for a walk or to exercise. I'm not taking care of myself. In fact, just last week, it was a great example for, I was finding the disconnect with my daughter and as she's getting older, I'm understanding she's really forming her own personality. And if I look back at last week, it started with me. It started because I was spread too thin and I was burning out. So be that healthy role model too, because as we do this work, as we start to learn these, you know, to learn how we as parents can thrive, we're sending a ripple effect to our children as a result.
Wow. What a profound message. We should be healthy role models for our children. Take care of yourself. They always say that you'll have to give out from the overflow. So fill your cup first, fill your cup until it overflows. And then you're going to be able to share with the world from the overflow. Wow, what a profound message, Jen. Thank you so much for sharing such a much needed message. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to move to Celia Kibbler. Celia Kibbler is a best-selling author, a family empowerment coach, and the founder of Pumped Up Parenting, Fun Fit Family Fitness, and International Day of Calm. She is the mom of 5 kids, 2 where she gave birth to, and 3 that she gained from her marriage, as well as a grandma to 9. No wonder. She has successfully parented a blended family for over 24 years. Celia is on a mission to stop 1 million parents from yelling at their kids. So her book, Raising Happy Toddlers, How to Build Great Parenting Skills and Stop Yelling at Your Kids, is available for purchase from Amazon in Kindle as well as paperback. She has written 3 children's books to enhance the development of kids. So being different is fun. I am grateful and all about me. Those are the books she wrote. Celia believes that the more parents understand their children and themselves, the better they can communicate and relate while building trust and respect within a nurturing, fun environment. So her reason is simple: because we are raising adults and not children. So with over 40 years of coaching, teaching, and counseling kids and their parents, including special needs populations, Celia has found successful solutions for real life parenting situations with advice that is easy to follow, doable, and result driven. So she brings that wisdom to you in her book, as well as in private and group coaching. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Celia Kibbler.
Hi, everyone. Wow. Excuse me. Quite the introduction. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Real. I appreciate it. That was really wonderful for you to say. So I want to bring into the conversation, and I think you're going to wind up hearing some pieces of everyone's conversation that's repetitive to a bit, because I know in listening to you, Jen, there's a lot of things that I obviously agree with that I'm going to mention as well. I want to talk about the six, what I like to say is the 6 C's of a cooperative home. And they are calm, consistency, choices, consequences, culture, and character. And I'm going to touch on each one for a minute, just so you understand why this creates a cooperative home and a calm home and a happy home. Calm, first of all and foremost. You heard that I'm on a mission to stop 1 million parents from yelling at their kids. Yelling is so detrimental to a child's development, beyond detrimental. And I'm talking about consistent yelling. I'm not talking about once in a while we have a bad day. We're all human. We have a bad day. We do things we don't intend to do. And then you are allowed to say you're sorry and do a do-over. But calm includes your communication, the way you communicate. Communication is 20% words that you say and 80% nonverbal cues that you send. So it is more what you do and less what you say. The environment of your home, if your home is chaotic, if it's noisy, if the TV is on 24 hours a day and no one's watching, that lends to irritability. And irritability lends to stress, stress lends to yelling. The structure of your home. Do you have a calm, organized structure, schedules, routines? Children and adults thrive on that, and that should be in place. And do you understand everyone's perspective, your child's perspective? Are you seeing the world through your child's eyes? Don't just look at your child as an adult. They can't respond to you like an adult. It's not difficult. It's impossible. The human brain doesn't develop until we are 25 years old. So a little child has a very underdeveloped brain. So do not expect them to respond to you like as if you're talking to a friend, coworker, or your partner. Second C is consistency. You have to be consistent in everything you do. Everything. I always use the example of a toddler, a baby that learns to walk. Do we push that little boy or girl down when they fall down the first time? No. We are like, oh, you're going to walk. And we pick them up and we hold their little hands and we help them walk and they waddle and we guide them to take that first step and we keep them moving forward. We are consistent with that. And guess what happens is they take their first step and woo, we're celebrating. Our baby took our first step. Yay, yay. And that consistency needs to be present in everything you do as a parent. If you're trying to break habits, if you're, setting up any kind of consequences, if you're giving choices, there's a right way and a wrong way for choices. And that brings us to our next C, which is choices. But choices are a game changer. Choices empower children. It keeps our kids from thinking that they are totally controlled by somebody else, that we are telling them what to do, how to do it, and when to do it all the time. No one wants to be treated like that. You must remember that your children are human, just like you. If you are constantly yelled at, do you respect that person? No. Don't think that they will respect you for yelling at them. They will fear you. They will be afraid of you. They'll be afraid of what's coming next. But they're certainly not going to respect you. Respect is a two-way street. And when you offer choices, you indirectly send the message to your child that, you know what? I believe in you. You can make this choice. Go ahead, honey. tear it up. You're a year and a half. You go for it, baby. You pick out what you'd rather do, but you offer the choices. So the choices are still based on what you do. I'll give you one great little golden choice you can give to your children for transitions, because it's really helpful. If you want them to put down the tablet and come to dinner, instead of saying, honey, you have 5 more minutes, or doing the countdown. So many parents do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Say, honey, would you like 2 or 4 more minutes to play? They'll say 4 minutes because 2 is less, or they might not know, and they might say 2, or they may ask you which is more. Tell them, okay, set a timer, say 4 minutes. What are you going to do? I'm going to come to dinner. And this works for even a little 2-year-olds too. Okay, so you got 4 minutes. When you hear the timer, come to dinner. That time choice transition helps so much and avoids a lot of the yelling and conflict and not listening that occurs when parents repeat themselves over and over again, and then they say, oh, they don't listen until they yell. Stop repeating. Consequences. Life has consequences. So there should be limits and boundaries set up in your home. Kids should not just run wild, because you know what? Limits and boundaries show you care. They give a child security and love and safety. And when a child's just allowed to do whatever they want all day, they are in chaos and they get out of control. They need those limits and boundaries. We all have them in life. And when they make a choice, if it's a good choice, it will have a good result. If it's a not so great choice, it'll have a not so great consequence. Consequences are also a part of life. Disappointment is part of life. Your children should be exercising their disappointment muscle, their waiting muscle. Because if they don't, they're going to be sadly disappointed as they grow into adulthood. Because welcome to life when things don't always go your way. And if they expect everything to go your way, it's going to be a sad realization when they get older. Culture of your home. Are you fun? Is your home fun? It should be fun. Laughter, it's the best medicine. You should be fun. Do you have a spiritual expectation? Do you go to church every morning? Do you pray during the day? Is your home set up for learning? Do you have the consistency of let's learn something new every day? Let's try and fail every day, because when you fail, you step out of your comfort zone, and then your children they don't become afraid of failure. They become excited to fail and make a mistake because they're learning and growing. And your self-care. Do you have, Jen talked about self-care. That should be part of your culture. We all take care of ourselves along with each other. And then last C is character. Character. Are you the type of person that you want your children to be? Are you a parent of integrity? Do you do what you say? Do you follow through? Do you live by your core values? Do you teach your children different character traits that they need to carry them into the future? Remember, it's all a learning experience for all of you. My book I wrote is kind of like a manual. I wrote it that way. So you do get to look up things and find successful solutions, since we all really want that manual. But if you have calm, consistency, choices, consequences, culture, and character, you'll have the final C, and that's a cooperative, happy home. Oh, I think you're muted. Now we're going to trade muted.
I know. Oh my goodness. Just drop the mic, Celia. You've just mentioned everything that we really need to know on how we can actually stop yelling to those kids, because guess what? We are raising adults. We're no longer raising kids. And you've mentioned character. am I living that kind of life that will kind of influence my children? Am I a role model to my children? And you've mentioned how can parents stop yelling at their children, really? Because like if you live, you've mentioned, I was just taking notes. My head is all over the place. You've mentioned that if in your house, your TV is always on, like from morning until sunset, what does it bring to these children? It brings chaos because it's always noise around them. There is
Right.
no time for peace. There is no time for just to be in a calm place. Wow. I'm gonna go back and watch the replay. Thank you so much, Celia, for sharing
You're
that
so welcome.
message. Thank you. So now we're going to move to Savita. Savita was here last week. She shared more nuggets on being destined for greatness, and she's so hungry to share about successful parenting. So Savita Besswick is the CEO and founder of Sisters. I hear an echo. She's the I don't know. Can you hear me okay? That side, over that side?
Mhm.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I keep on hearing an echo on my end. Now it's good. Yeah, she's the CEO and founder of Sisters with a Vision, which was birthed in 2018. Its goal is to help educate young single mothers and young men and married couples, as well as their families across the globe, at learning how to live a better life being financially free by doing it in God's way. So Sisters with a Vision serves God's children by inspiring, motivating, empowering, and encouraging, and showing families how to live debt-free lives by applying the principles and tools that she shared on her website, which is suave2018.com. She's going to share that at the end of the podcast. And her faith in God guides her in all she does for others as well as herself. So Savita has endured many heartaches, pains, and losses during her life, but they all have taught her how to be a tough soldier and to have faith and trust God with all of her heart, mind, body, and her soul. So Savita had to learn to have patience, trust in God's process and plans that He has for her life, and those that are connected shall be blessed and eat the good of the land. So she's originally from Niagara Falls in New York, but currently resides in the state of Georgia. So Savita is a multi-award recipient. She has received leadership awards from Niagara Community College and Genesis Community College and motivational speaking awards. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Savita Besswick.
Wow, thank you so much, Riel. Thank you so much. And I just want to just give God the praise, the glory, the honor, and just I want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to be on your platform, to be able to share, Sisters with a Vision, and to be able to share what God has given me. Each of you women have spoken so profoundly today. Jennifer, I thank you so much for what you shared. And I thank you, Cecilia, for what you've shared. And I'm now going to share what the Lord has put on my heart to share with all of those that are listening and that will be listening. And what He gave to me this morning, because I was like, Lord, what do you want me to say to your people today? Because today I call Freedom Friday. And so today, this is going to help some parents to be able to get free on today. So I thank you for this invitation. And I thank you that we are our Lord's eyes, ears, mouth, and we are His vessel. And so what came to me was Proverbs 22:6, to train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And so being able to put, and to train up your children the way that they are supposed to go. I don't know if you guys had heard me or remember from last week when I said that I remember going to the Lord in prayer and asking Him to teach me and to show me how to be a parent, because the parenting that I received, it was not good parenting. My mom was abusive to me. She was verbally abusive and physical. And when I say physical, it was, the spankings. And it wasn't with, with her hand, it was with, anything that was in her reach, a shoe, a iron, a extension cord, anything that brought forth, abuse, and it brought forth bruises. It broke my spirit. My mom was the first person that broke my spirit as a child, from calling me dumb, stupid, fat, all these names that, as a child, you would not think that your caregiver is the one that would abuse you and hurt you and harm you. Well, of course, we know that when you are a child of God, and I didn't know all this then, but when you are a child of God and you have a calling on your life, unfortunately, the enemy will use people closest to you to bring, that doubt, that shame, the not taking care of yourself, spiritually, mentally, financially, all of those things, that all ties in. And so for myself, I became an overeater because of the abuse. And I looked for food to comfort me because of the fact that I didn't have any other siblings in the household with me. I grew up as the only child. And so being, neglected that way, the Lord had to step in. He used my aunts, he used different ones, my dad, to show me love. Even though my dad, he was not the best father that I can look at, as a human being, but he was the closest thing at that particular time to a God that I knew, until I actually found out the Father and the love of a father. And so the Holy Spirit had to begin to do some work within me. And that's one of the titles in my book, is called, Let the Holy Spirit Take His Time, because He's a gentleman. And so I didn't know all this stuff. And so being able to know that in Ephesians 6, it says, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is a first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on earth. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and the abomination of the Lord. And so here it is, when you don't have a parent that don't know God, and they only know this world way of doing things, they're going to do what they only know. And especially, I can say for my mom, she's a beautiful person, but because of the way how she was brought up from her mother, and probably her mother and her mother, so there was generational curses, and those were things that were passed down. And so I can remember when I had my son, and I can remember when he was young, I was a young parent. I thank God for my mom that she did not babysit for me all the time, because then that would probably made me to be, quote unquote, I guess, I don't want to use lazy, but a lazy parent, because then I would have probably went out and did what I wanted to do and have more children. And, my thing is that she taught me how to not allow other people to, take care of my child. She taught me how to, even though she was abusive to me, but her and my son has a great connection. And she taught me of what not to do. And so I can remember as my son had got older, and it was something that he had did, and I can remember calling him stupid. And the Holy Spirit had to convict me and stop me right there in my hallway and said, when you were a child, did you like to be called names? And I didn't. I didn't like to be called stupid. I didn't like to be called fat. I didn't like to be called dumb. I didn't like to be called the names that my mom called me when she was angry. And I knew that my mom loved me, but really in the inside, it was like, I really didn't believe it, because it was like, how can a parent be abusive to their child and then say that they love their child, but you're abusive? I couldn't put those two things together. And so me and my mom relationship, it was a strain. It was, when I got older, it was like I wanted to get away from her, because she was always putting her venom on me. And it was like, I didn't want that. And so because of the trauma and the the broken spirit that I had, I thank God that by the time I was 21, that's when I got to know the Lord as, my Lord and my Savior. And that's where my transformation began 27 years ago. And the Holy Spirit, without the Holy Spirit, without God, I promise you, we can't do anything. We can try to do this, we can try to do that. But when we take him out of the equation, when he created everything, then it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a whole lot of stuff that goes on in houses. And we can already see that there's a lot of dysfunctional homes. There's a lot of dysfunctional things. And so I thank God for teaching me to learn how to not yell at my children, to learn how to not call my children name when I'm angry. I had to learn to stop, look, and listen. And so parents, if you are out there and you are calling your children names, stop, because that is breaking them, and they already have to deal with other children, that come from dysfunctional homes when they go to school, and then they have to deal with that. And so then we wonder why our children, are depressed. We wonder why our children turn to drugs and all these different things. It's because of the fact that, no one is listening. And that was one of the things that I had to learn as a parent, is I had to learn how to listen to my children, but also I had to learn how to separate also from being their friend and being a parent. And so learning all those different things, learning how to have patience with my children, I tell you, it's a lot. And it's a lot of things that we have to learn to undo and to put on the right things so that we can have successful children and successful grandchildren, because we already see it's so much, negative things out here in the world. So when it comes to parenting, I use scripture when I parent, because like I said, I didn't have a mom that did that with me. And so I had to learn how to do that. So I thank God for teaching me how to have patience, teaching me how to build up my children versus, tearing them down, because we can do that. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. So those are all the things that I really wanted to share. I didn't number them, but you guys can catch, the replay. You can do it, or you can, link up with me or whatever. But I thank you, Riel, for, this opportunity on Freedom Friday. And I just pray that something that I said, something that, Cecilia, Jennifer said, that it will resonate with, the parents out there, and also what you're getting ready to say, because we are the voices of God.
Oh my goodness. Wow, Savita. Oh, what you've just shared right now, there are many who just went through like a true parenting, being raised by angry moms. But I thank God that he was able to shape your character. Don't copy what you've been learning from your own mom. And you told yourself that, what, it's high time I take control of myself in raising my own children. You've mentioned that we should be patient with ourselves. We should be able to build our children up instead of tearing them down, which happens quite frequently. Many parents, like you've mentioned, you've had your mom calling your son, I think your son stupid or something. And then that was when you were like, no, it's high time I stand up. So thank you so much, Savita, for sharing such a profound, much needed message. And thank you for opening up with your upbringing to be this person that you are. Like you've mentioned, that we should be able to train our children the way that will lead them into a better life, so that when they are old, they will never ever depart from that kind of training that we give to them. So it's very, very profound, and I believe that our audience have been moved. Thank you so much, my sister, for sharing such a much needed message. So to our audience online, I can see our audience online. They are watching. Okay, yeah, Savita was commenting that, yes, we do as moms. I believe she was just referring to one of the speakers, or maybe Jennifer, or maybe Celia, one of the two. And Mariah is saying that, wow, character. So I believe she was commenting on Celia when she was referring to the character building. And I can see our audience. I can see Mzamo watching, Benoit watching, Annalie watching, and Savita has shared she has been inviting many and many individuals here. And Chantel is saying, hey, they're beautiful ladies. Hey, Chantel, we see you. Thank you for joining us. And thank you to our audience online. So to our audience online, please feel free. If you have any questions to Jen, if you have any questions to Celia, if you have any questions to Savita, please just drop the questions in the chat box. We're going to attend to your questions at the end of the podcast. And remember to share this live streaming. And if you haven't done so, if you haven't subscribed on our channel on YouTube, Rise to Greater Heights Network, go out there, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any video being posted over there, and continue to share with your networks, because you may never know who really needs to hear this message on successful parenting. So, I always say that it's not going to be a podcast, it's not going to be a show without me speaking. So I'm going to be the next speaker. But before I speak, let me see if I can share my bio with you, and then I'll come back and speak.
Non Pumelelo Rial Kunene is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Les Brown international speaker. She is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. Rial is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective, inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes in a seriously funny way. Rial believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. Rial's book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. Rial Kunene wears many hats as a professional certified sales manager, CEO, strategist, certified travel counselor, trainer, esthetician, philanthropist, diplomacy protocol officer, international human rights analyst, and a commissioner for OAS. Following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalm 27 and 40. Keep her to rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Rial Kunene!
Thank you so much, amazing speakers. Wow, I'm just gonna make a recap. Like Jen, she mentioned that we need to be gentle on ourselves. And then Celia on the other side, she shared more nuggets on how can parents stop yelling at their children? What can we do as parents? And then Savita on the other side, she was like, you know what, just train up a child. Train up your children in such a way that they should go. And when they are old, you know what? They will never forget the way you've trained them. They will never depart from that way. So I'm going to ask you a question. Can single parents be successful? If you can just put it down. Can they be successful? Can single parents be successful? What comes into your mind? Do you think really can single parents can be successful like normal mothers, like normal wives, like normal individuals? Can they be successful? And being a single mom is not a setback. So you have to own your single mom status and find what you love and just do it. Yes, you can be a single mom and make millions while raising your young ones. And one essential tool for success in business is confidence. Confidence. And you may ask me why. I'm glad you've asked that, because you know what? If you don't have that confidence, many can smell the lack of it in you. So have that confidence. Start strong and self-fund by being a certified hustler. Being a certified hustler, and remember that operating on a budget and problem solving are both general skills for a successful mompreneur. So for me, really, I used to worry about money constantly. I was like asking myself exactly, how do you even start a business broke? And then, you know what I did, what I decided to do, I then chose to showcase to the world that yes, you can be a single mom and still have it all by setting your goals, setting my goals for my business and for my life. So I was really, really convinced that there are numerous single moms out there with great experiences. So I decided to wear my hustler hats and then create work that is profitable but not visible. Good people, you really don't have to see the whole staircase in life, but you need to take the first step to get to the top. As my mentor always say that, you don't have to be great to get started, but you'll have to get started to become great in life. So get started today. Life is not always about being speak and span and perfect. You'll have to appreciate yourself and give yourself credit. For the way you are bringing up your children, just give yourself credit. Be happy and content in life instead of wondering what could have happened if the father was still involved. Why this may sound difficult, honestly, it is also the imperfections of life that give it character. And it is how your children will see the love and know what efforts you are putting in for them. So it's high time you get more knowledge on the tips, like tips of successful parenting. As flight attendants always say that, put on your oxygen mask first before you assist others, because if you don't, you and the other person you're trying to help could possibly go down. So put on that oxygen mask first. Get the tips first before you go out there and share with the world. You'll have to realize how amazing your children have turned out to be as a mom, as a single mom, and give yourself a pat in the back, because no one else will ever pat you, that you are really, really doing a good job for your children. You are doing a good job for your family. You are also doing a good job for yourself. At the end of the day, failure shouldn't be our undertaker, but an opportunity to begin again as long as you learn from it. So to all the single parents out there, you must know what you want from life, because you are solely responsible for your success and your failure as well. And remember that your dreams are valid. All you need to do is to fight for them. So it's a wake-up call, good people. It's a wake-up call to go out there and fight for your dreams. It's a wake-up call for everyone. But when that alarm clock goes off, please, please, don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, how I'll wake up in the next 2 minutes. I will wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you wake up, get going, and gain more knowledge on successful parenting? It's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful, beautiful name, Nompumelelo. I know many, when they try to say my name, Nompumelelo, they always butcher my name. But my name, it has a meaning. Nompumelelo, in my own language, it means mother of all success. So you can see that I am really, really challenged to chase after success. No matter what comes my way, I'll have to chase after success. If I may ask you, how many of you have dreams and goals that you want to achieve maybe in the next 6 months? I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. So as a coach or as a mentor, like most of us here, my goal is so simple. My goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be facing, and then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. I so wish you can just tell yourself that, what, all these amazing speakers have shared more nuggets on how I can actually parent my kids in a successful way, tips on successful parenting. So you'll have to go out there and be the change in your family, be the change in this world that we live in, be the change to those around you, be the change that we want to see. To those who look at you as an inspiration, just make a difference. But in order for you to go out there, be the change, making a difference in this world, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. That hungry lion in the jungle, really, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes his way. It doesn't matter if you're that giant elephant or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. And it's so funny because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what they do is that they run. It's all about the mindset. Like Jen is a mindset coach. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that, you know what? I am a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see a lion, I'll have to run. I believe that's the lion mindset that we need in order for us to be successful in parenting our children. Like Celia mentioned, that these children are no longer children, they're adults. We're raising adults. You shouldn't be yelling at them. So I believe that's the lion mindset that we need in order for us to make a difference in this world, because I believe that we all rise together and we rise to greater heights, and we rise by lifting each other up. Like Savita mentioned, that we'll have to build our own children instead of tearing them down. I believe that we also rise by lifting each other up than tearing anyone down. You know, it's so funny. When I was in the 8th grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird, meaning I became successful again. Really, that English teacher, she didn't know that the nickname Phoenix, it resonates with me, and it also aligns with my destiny. So for those of you who don't know the phoenix bird, the phoenix is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature, it acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our capacity for vision and success. So I want to encourage you, as you're watching and listening under my voice, that when your world comes crashing down, wear your scars to show what your phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability to rise from your own ashes, since the phoenix has to die, burn, experience pain before resurrection from its own ashes. Please write this down in conclusion. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. If I can be honest with you, I don't know what goals you've set for the next 6 months. I don't know what dreams you have for your own future. But here is one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. Those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters, and some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us. Your objective is what you were designed for and the reason why you live today. With God, I believe that we're all destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the growth commences, because discovering your gift and following God's idea will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. Like you've already had that your setback is your setup for your comeback. So you are destined for greatness. My everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what skills, what talents, and what books will die with you? And the late Dr. Miles Monroe once said, the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the dreams, all the visions, all the skills, all the talents have been buried. Honestly, I don't know about you, but with me listening to all these messages, it gave me sleepless nights. And I remember when I started journaling my first book, Rise to Greater Heights book, which is a comprehensive guide to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. And I didn't stop there. If you remember it very well, in May 25th, 2020, George Floyd died in police custody in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I believe that we need to stand for a world where no one shall live in fear because of the color of their skin, and where the criminal justice system treats everyone fairly and equally. Because I believe that we're all born free and we have the right to life. So I decided to write my book, Human Rights, which are just God-given fundamental rights and freedoms. Because you know what? I believe that we are all equal in dignity. So if I may ask you, what's holding you back? What's holding you back from going confident in the direction of your dreams? Is it fear, mediocrity, procrastination, distraction, or like you just don't want to chase after success? What's holding you back? So it's high time, good people. It's high time you assess your goals, progress, and cultivate your mindset for success, because we are all destined for greatness, and inside of us will have to be resilient at some point in time. So I believe with all these books have the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. And I also have a free transformation guide for you. It's available on my website, www.risetogreaterheights.com. And with this free transformation guide, trust me, you'll be able to explore leadership, empowerment, being purpose-driven, mentorship, coaching, resilience to greatness, emotional intelligence, mental health, and many, many more topics, including successful parenting as well as spiritual growth. Because growing up, I didn't have much in life because my father decided to have an early departure from this planet Earth. And thank God I missed that flight, because I'm still here. I'm still sharing my message with the whole world, because I had everything because of my mama's love. And I love you so much, Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Dr. Riel and Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, amazing speaker. So at this moment, please feel free. If you have any book that you want to share with the audience, any upcoming event that you have, any freebie that you want to share with the audience, please feel free to share with them, as well as share your final thoughts on the subject, successful parenting, and also how the audience can reach out to you. So Jen, the floor is yours. You can share with your audience.
Oh man, that was so inspiring. Thank you so much. That lit me up. And all of the ladies, I'm so inspired by everything that you said. And I'm going to be watching this replay too, because I know, like with everything, we're always learning. It's such a process, and we're never going to get it down perfectly. But as long as we strive to do our best and we focus on that as our main goal, then you will succeed, because success is inevitable when you have a growth mindset. And so thank you. And something that just to share, if anyone is interested, to start off with being a healthy role model, we need to first take care of ourselves as parents, because parenting and the day-to-day demands and responsibilities, especially if you're a single mom like myself, can be very stressful. It can feel challenging. And so if it's of help, if you're finding yourself needing to practice a little bit more self-care, if you're finding yourself feeling burnt out, or you're just spread too thin, you can find me on Instagram. It's at I am Jen Adamson, JENNADAMSON. And just click on the link in my bio. I have a really great little 5 to 10 minute meditation, of 2 actually, and they focus a lot on self-care. And I'll end with this. It doesn't need to be this extravagant moment where you take, a week off to go on vacation. If you can do that, by all means, go for it. But self-care can happen moment to moment, day to day, week to week. We can do it right now by just placing a hand on our heart and taking a deep breath and saying something kind to ourselves, saying something kind, because it is our mindset. That is the sacred ground that we walk on as parents, starting with ourselves first. And through that, we plant those beautiful seeds within ourselves and then within our children as that ripple effect, like I mentioned before. So just placing a hand on your heart, taking a few deep breaths, re-regulating your nervous system, so that when a challenge comes, when an obstacle comes, you feel prepared, you feel well equipped for the task at hand. When your child may be going through a tough time, to be able to just go down to their level and speak to them kindly, speak to them and look them in their eyes and just say, hey, let's talk about this. What's going on? Going down to your level, just those simple things that we can do when we do take care of our mindset, when we do take care of ourselves first, we can really succeed with parenting through those small day-to-day choices. So that would be my final thought.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Jen. I believe that our audience will reach out to you. Yes, you've mentioned that self-care is a priority. You can just put your hand on your chest and just say something positive about yourself. I believe in affirmations. I'm a firm believer. Everywhere I go, they know me with affirmations. So I believe that our audience will reach out to you because they need to hear this. They need it. Thank you so much, Jen. You can go ahead, Celia, and share with the audience, please.
Well, again, like Jen said, really wonderful to be a part of this. And with the four of you, or the four of us, the three of you, it's just, it really shows how impactful women can be. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, what gift do I have to share? We all have gifts. And find that sparkle, find that gift, find that passion, because there's someone out there that really needs to hear what you've been through, how you got through it, so that they can feel inspired to get through it too. I do have some books, and my book, Raising Happy Toddlers, How to Build Great Parenting Skills and Stop Yelling at Your Kids, is a manual. I wrote it like a manual, so you can literally look up anything that's going on and find successful solutions. It's available in English and Spanish. And along with my children's books, I'm Grateful, All About Me and Being Different is Fun. They're available at celiasbooks.com, CELIAS books.com. And that will bring you directly to the Pumped Up Parenting website with direct links to Amazon. So if you are questioning what you're doing, put this on your bookshelf and you can just look it up. As well, when you're at the website, pumpedupparenting.com, you can find 15 ways to be more patient, as well as another freebie about eating healthy, because what goes in really contributes to what comes out. And these women, I guarantee you, don't just sparkle from the outside, they sparkle from within. And that's all about taking care of yourself, like Jen says. I want to leave you with a final message, and that is, please be aware of all the good your children do. Our children do much more good than not so good. And often as parents, we lead these busy lives and we think, oh, everything's going along great. And then your kids get upset and you run in there and you give that problem the attention. You start yelling along with them, when for a half hour they've been good and you've said nothing. Go in there while they're being good and thank them for being so great and letting you get your stuff done. Don't address the argument is because they've been together too long. They're sick of each other. So don't address that. Address when they're being good. Let them know that you've noticed. Let them know that you're proud of them. I'm sure you all know adults that are still trying to make their parents proud of them. All children want their parents proud of them. All children love their parents. I know it doesn't seem like that sometimes, but they all do. So let them know how proud you are, and they will choose the behavior that makes you proud of them over the behavior that doesn't work out so well and gives them negative attention. So keep noticing the positive, keep a positive home. And if you want to reach out to me, I'm here for any questions and available to talk to you. And you can find me at pumpedupparenting.com on all social networks. And I look forward to meeting you. Thank you for having me here.
Oh my goodness. Wow, Celia, we should recognize the positive things that our children do the most, more than what they do bad, because whatsoever they are doing good, and then we recognize them, they will try to do the good.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. I believe that our audience will reach out to you. I believe that. And I think I'm going to be the first one to reach out to you, because I need that. I need that manual. I'll have to get that manual that will help me through life, that will help me in everything that I do with my children. I got so inspired like 2 weeks ago with my son. What happened? It turned out I got a gig, but it was through my son. My son, we were in an event, so he decided to go ahead and sell my books. Like, he started go boot by boot selling my books. I'm like, no, come back, stop. And then guess what? What happened? He came into this booth for immigrant women entrepreneurs. And then he's like trying to sell my book. So they were like, where is your mom? We just want to talk to your mom. So he's coming back to me. I'm on a Zoom meeting and I'm like trying to concentrate on my Zoom meeting. My son is like, Mommy, come, they want to see you come. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go there. So long story short, I got them. It turned out that they were looking for a mentor, a coach. I signed the contract on Tuesday with them.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
So when you say
Yeah,
we should
we're
be,
always in the right place, but sometimes we miss it. God has a plan for us, and sometimes we don't realize what that is. It's like that sailboat joke where God keeps sending the boat
yeah,
and they keep sending it away, and God will help you. And they're like, I've been trying to help you here, and yay for your son. See how much he
yeah.
loves you.
Oh wow, yeah, I was really humbled. I cried in my bedroom. I'm like, look at this boy. Sometimes we underestimate our children. That's what I've been doing. So I'm learning a lot from you, Celia. I'm learning a lot.
I'm glad. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
so Veda, you can go ahead and share with the audience how they can reach out to you, your events, books, and anything upcoming.
All right. Well, praise God. I just want to share this real quick is before any parent, I don't care if you're a mom or a dad, before you discipline your child, before you go to talk to your child about anything, just remember the scripture that I said in Ephesians 6, and where it says, parents, do not provoke your children to wrath. And so stop, look, and listen to make sure you are in the right spirit, in the right mindset before you, give off what you want to say. As Cecilia said, don't respond to the bad behavior, respond to when you see them doing something good. Praise that child, give them something to be, want to be rewarded again, because they have done good. And I can go on and on and on because I have so much to say, but it's in my book that I'm writing, Learn from My Pain, Broken but Yet Blessed. But stop, look, and listen before you actually, get ready to discipline or to even say anything. Either go to God and ask him what you need to say, give you the right words to say so that you don't break your child's spirit. And not only just break your child's spirit, but also you want them to be able to hear and to receive what it is that you are saying, because you are training them up in the way that they should go. And so what I'm doing is, I have my book, The Unconditional Love, and that's where God had to use me, is I needed to learn how to love Savita first. As you ladies were talking about self-care, well, guess what? My self-care was I needed to get rid of all of the old stinking thinking, all of the old things that had hurt me, all of the things that, made me feel bad about myself, made me not feel good about myself, made my esteem low. But I thank God, because the affirmations that is the best was in that word, me being the apple of God's eye, me being, greater is him that is in me than he is of this world. So putting the word in is the best affirmations, because as Cecilia said, what you put in is what's going to come out. And so if you put junk in, guess what? Junk is going to come out. But if you want, something good, if you want your garden to be smelling good and looking good, then guess what? As a good gardener, you got to make sure you tend to the garden. So tend to yourselves and be able to, get with other people such as Riel, myself, Cecilia, Jennifer, and ask God to send you. I had to take parenting classes, I took parenting classes and I got awards for that as well, because you know what? When you are a young child, a young mom, you don't know what you don't know. Only thing you know is what you've seen and how other people have taught you. But when God teaches you, I tell you, you're in a better place. And so now here it is, I'm older and I can teach my, my grandchildren, and then not only my grandchildren, but someone else out here that is listening. So you can reach me by going to www.swav2018.com. That is my website. And also, if you want to reach me via email, you can go to Savita Besswick at gmail.com. Or you can also, reach me via phone at 641-715-3900. But you have to use an extension 275354. And you can DM me also on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you are at, Twitter, wherever you are at, you can find me on those different platforms. And so I thank you, Riel, for allowing us women to be able to share on this Freedom Friday. And we just hope and pray that the things that we have said, that it resonated with someone, and that they will be able to, come back and say, you know what, it was something that one of these 4 women said, and I got to get with them. I need more, because a lot of time we are teachers. And guess what? Unfortunately, when you go to the house of worship, the leader can only teach so much. They can only give so much, but the ministry is outside, and this is what we're doing. And so if there's, someone, if anyways, it's a beautiful thing. And so I thank God for this she power over here that we got. We got, a lot of goodness and energy going on here. And I'm just truly grateful. Thank you for allowing me to, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be quiet. When you come into someone else's house, you got to know how to behave, right? And so I thank you for inviting me into your house, and being able to eat the food that you ladies have served and that you have given. And as Jennifer said, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna re-listen to this, because there were some things that was said that I can utilize and eat off. God gives us manna every day, new manna, daily. And he does not give us stale food to eat. He gives us new stuff every day. This is a new month. This is a new day. And so guess what? I'm truly, truly grateful for today.
Wow, Savita, thank you so much. And I believe that our audience really, they're gonna reach out to you, because they need this, this motivation, this inspiration from you, and what you've been doing with your platform. Really, it's really amazing. You are changing the world one soul at a time. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for being
You're
with
welcome.
us. To
Thank
both
you.
of you ladies, I know Jennifer, she had to jump to her coaching session, so she's no longer with us. But you know what, I really appreciate all of your time just to be with us here at Rise to Greater Heights, to share more nuggets on successful parenting. So with all of these messages that you've shared with us, I believe that our audience have gained something, and they will definitely reach out to both of you, the 3 of you, because they really need this. So thank you so much, amazing speakers. And to our audience online, thank you so much for joining us today here at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success. I can see many comments. Oh my goodness, I can see our audience really watching. Zamo is still with us. Bruno is still with us. Sanet Makabane has just joined. Oh yes, Savita, yes, my name is powerful, and I believe all of us here, we have a powerful meaning behind our names. And Savita was like, she was really busy on the chat box. I love it. Resilience to greatness. It takes a village to raise a child. I love that. I've been raised in Africa, where the whole community, in my neighborhood in Swaziland was raising me. But now in North America, it's a different story, because I'm trying to raise a child, I'm in trouble. So it takes the whole village to raise a child. That's where I come from. So to our audience online, thank you so much for joining us here at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, more especially under these circumstances. So I hope from all these amazing messages, from all these amazing speakers, you've been inspired, you've been motivated, and you are ready to rise to greater heights. So do join us next week at the same time, same place. Thank you. Merci. Sia bonga.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one I say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one I say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody spread the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long